It's looking for like a StarCraft cooler, right? Yeah. So it's in that folder.
QXC giving some friendly advice.
There it is. I'm just spreading the word of my build order tester.
Have you made a post about it anywhere?
Yeah, it's been on Team Liquid.
Nice. And you designed this program yourself?
It's a map, but yeah.
You coded it?
Ish. There's not much coding involved per se. Okay, so you're gonna have to close StarCraft 2 to run it, and then you hit test map in the top right hand corner.
Got to see this build order tester in action.
Yep. But you
So
have
what
to
do
open up the editor to test it.
What are you
You
testing?
can't load it as a
So
custom.
technically you could do it online, but I never published it. There
Gotcha.
might be one online though. Okay, so the way it works is you hold shift, 1, 2, 3. Because of the way Larva works, the easiest way is to make it reload the map.
Okay.
And then there's a timer in the top right hand corner. So you're
Oh, I
like,
see.
oh, Protoss. Whoops, I hit the wrong one. I love Protoss. That's not Protoss, that's Protoss.
Very
And you're like, oh, let me do a build. Shift 1. It's Protoss. And then you like start doing your build, and you're like, oh, I messed it up. And then you hold shift 1 and restart.
What's with the numbers?
That's the amount of time that's elapsed.
Oh, I see.
Because like sometimes the idea was if you restart, you might not be looking at the timer.
Yeah.
And so like you have this in front of you. But yeah, if you want to work on timings for a build, this is like the fastest and most efficient way that I've come up with.
I see.
It's a good idea. Thank you, Mr. QXC.
No problem. But
You
like,
are a scholar
what
and a
if your
gentleman.
stuff goes around like harassing her across the map? Different maps have different map sizes, so how do you test that sort of timing?
You're not supposed. The idea isn't to test interactions with another player.
Okay.
The idea is to test like when do I need to take my gas, when do I need to take my second gas, when do I need
Just
to...
for the units, no, in like an isolated.
Yeah, and like what I do is I mimic my scouting probe, or my scouting SCV. Like when I would scout, I just send an SCV out of my base and put it on patrol. And like that way the minerals will line up more realistically in a real game, because you're not going to have that scout mining resources.
Exactly. It makes sense.
So, it's pretty exciting.
It's cool. I need some coaching. Where's he go?
He's helping out Shu at the moment.
I want to start working on this.
Run that to the back of his base and put your army out in front of his base, and then when he sends his whole force back to defend that, you just go ahead and charge up his ramp, siege it.
Yeah, same one. Same exact one.
Concussion, same. Alright.
That way I don't have to use my action to get the same result. Again, I see no threat.
Yeah, well, this is QXC's builder, not that.
I'm not even checking for expansion.
I'm trying to see, because I'm giving Protoss one last chance before. Yeah, it's just my mechanics is slow.
Theoretically be able to saturate a new base quicker because you're constantly producing probes at the one.
Exactly.
So you would never have too many probes you're trying to say.
You can, but one of the things I tell all my students is it's absolutely better to work backwards from I have too many than oh my gosh I have too few.
You know what Tester does right here?
And
Mixes gas and mixes it.
actually one of my friends, Noni, famously quoted it. Someone asked him, when do I cut rope? He said, if you have to ask that question, then you're not ready. And I think that's a really good characterization of what I'm talking about. Like, for now, at your level, and even my level, build as many as you can. And then when you get to the point where you're like, that's too many, then guess what? Congratulations, you've graduated to a place where, you know, that question answers itself. So at this point, I'm kind of pouring it on. You can see my army's starting to take shape. One important thing, you know, we'll get more into the specifics with the sparring and stuff, but notice the consistency of my army. Lots of sentries. So when I go into the fight, I mean, again, this is a terrible computer, but I just killed his army. Guardian Shield. But let's say his army's here. And the reason for that is these have range 9, nothing his do. So I'm shooting him, and this is the control aspect. Get these back. These deal with the Vikings that come up here or whatever they can, but these are the damage dealers, and this is just meat shield and protection against air. So that's why if you look, I've got 2 Zealots, and the rest is Stalkers and Sentries. So there they are. So I'm going to move to the back, and in between shots, there you go, it's not bad here.
And try to go get that power around scout.
So the Vikings taken care of.
Yeah, you need a scout to see if it's expanding.
And notice how I'm moving up in between shots. I mean, I'm not doing a very good job. Again, this is my mouse, not my setup, so forgive me. I'm a little bit better than this. But you can see that, like, that kind of movement.
Whatever you want.
I've got the advantage. Exactly. I've got the advantage, so I want to push it forward. I don't want to give him that much time.
A lot of times you kind of run a lot of risks. It's easier to make a good game. Especially with hard positions.
Very nice. Does that kind of make sense for you, that stuff? So what we're going to do is go back to your I want to see you.
I would pressure with that stalker. Okay. Just to kind of stop. Looks like Incontrol is going to give some advice to Zach on that build that he wants to do with the Stalkers. We'll see what kind of advice Jeff gives for him.
Alright. So, you know how I hate Colossi
Right.
a lot,
but
right?
It's just because you haven't made friends with them yet.
True. But we'll see what I kind of had the idea after this. This was just doing a build order on the fly, really rusty, not even worrying about mechanics. I was basically theory crafting while I was playing.
Which is not advised, but yeah.
Right, exactly. But it was just kind of like.
Go ahead and put it on like X4.
Good call. Anyways, I didn't like when he scouted my Robo, and I don't like Robos anyways, so I just canceled it and threw down an Expo, which I'm kind of not feeling is a good idea because if they're making units like that late in their timing, like I'm just going to be army bonding, or I could be. It's like it's taking more of a risk.
A lot of times, if they see Robo,
yeah,
they're thinking Colossus, obviously, nobody goes Immortal anymore.
Yeah.
But the way they react to Colossus isn't by making static defenses.
Right.
They are going to make Hydras, they're going to make Corruptors if it goes real long. So that's bad for the fast expansion because they can come kill you.
Yeah.
But like if you were showing 4 gate and they get out of there and you cancel 2 gates and then go Robo or then go Stargate, that's different because it's showing aggression, it's switching to aggression. So that's an important point to have.
Well, anyways, what I was actually thinking was instead of fast expo, canceling the Robo, throwing down a 3rd gate, keeping a decent army size, get hallucinate and blink like you were doing, hallucinate a Colossus, because it all depends that I want them to scout the Robo, use the Colossus to provide the blink vision, to just throw them off, game, keep them in their base with the blink, take an Expo then, tech to storm, and take out like their Hydras that they were.
That's pretty good. For me, I would take my advisement on that. I mean, that could very well be the perfect build. I'm here talking out of my ass. So definitely work on it. But I would say instead of complicating it that much because that's pretty far down the tech pattern, I would just go switch to 4 gate because they're expecting aggression, but they're now going to tech the Hydra first.
Yeah.
So they're not going to have the spine crawler. So then you just pour on the gateway units and give them that go. And if they react to it fast enough, they're going to throw down a bunch of spine crawlers. So then what you do is you cut units and expand and just sit on your 4 gates, which would seem like a waste, but you actually influence the Zerg into making so much static defenses that don't matter later.
Yeah.
So then you go into Templar, then you go into Blink, all that stuff, which is great, but you're kind of setting up the macro arena so that it's in your favor.
Is that what you do, or just kind of what you're thinking?
I've done that a lot, yeah. I don't 4-gate Zergs, but I will open up 4-gate and then influence them to make the 6-7 spine crawlers or whatever, and then back off.
I like that more
his
because
expansion.
I don't like the because I don't like straight up 4-gating. It's just not. That's a waste of my life. So yeah, I try to do the blink, But you know, I don't have the mechanics or whatever. So
It's okay.
like,
It's a good thing to work on. I think
Yeah.
Blink's going to be integral, especially if they ever do get land leads. And there's a good follow up. What I wish you would have done is had this all together, like Stalker Zealots
Right.
with charge like that, Sentry for the Force Field Guardian Shield just like that, and then a couple Templar in the back, hose the Hydra. So that's an important part of this too. Make sure your stuff stays
yeah,
together.
I had it, and I didn't even research strong. I kept clicking it when I didn't have enough gas, and I didn't realize.
It's a very easy RTS syndrome to fall into, where it's like these units have this cool ability, I'll go do cool stuff with them.
Yeah.
But really, you should be asking the question of how does this cool stuff work with the other army, the rest of my army.
Yeah. That makes sense.
So this is good. Could have sniped that half.
Yeah.
Now at this point, I don't know what you're doing. They all just.
Yeah.
It's like a suicide mission. Oh, that's kind of cool. You got the stalkers in there.
And look, I trapped my guys. That was gonna be a decent amount of close. Like I saw his Hydra somewhere, so I was like, I knew I was kind of done.
Yeah. All right, man. We'll give that a go, and I'll definitely come work with you. I just wanted to.
Okay.
Send you to the barn before right now.
All right.